Let's see who comes in for a coffee chat. And I'm not really drinking coffee. I'm drinking Yorkshire tea. I did get some organic coffee because I have tried to get off coffee and I was off coffee and I've just been having like 1 in the morning. Drink my distilled water. Hi Gavin, yes I am going to talk about the video that I was just watching. Not in a bad way, not at all. You know, it's just because it was called Who's Q, but it wasn't really about Who's Q, was it? It was just about somebody who doesn't really believe in it, which is fine if that's not where the focus is on, which is fine. But for new people that might come across, I will put my hi Dr. Is it Orms? Because I'm a bit dyslexic. My way of thinking what Q is, and the whole thing about the media in Q and why, like what Chris said, the signs were held up in the media. It's for a reason. Think about it. Hi Mark, I'll just give it a few minutes in case anybody comes, some more come in. Yeah, so this is just me, and a lot of people in chat know I talk about this all the time, as well as spiritual stuff and orbs and God knows what, because you've got to be open-minded to absolutely everything. 17 in the house, and it's just gone up to 18. 17 is the 17th letter in the alphabet, is Q. D'Angelo, hi. Earth Mystic, hi. Hi, Mary. Hi, Jermaine. Greetings from Germany, Dolly. Hope you are fine. Yes, I'm good. I just watched a good chat, even though it wasn't for... it was anti sort of Trump and anti sort of Q, but that's okay. Because, yeah, I'm going to go through that in a minute. It's still the same thing. Still on the same side. Hi, Mary. Who've we got in? And Carol. Marie and Mary. James, hi. Anybody else up there? Paul from Newcastle. First Munch, Dolly, thanks for letting me mirror that poem. I was frustrated. Yeah, that's why I said you could mirror the poem. I might read it out again, just in case. It's all here. I'm obliged to find my Q map, just to throw a few things out there in case there's people coming over who are against it, but might hear things that they're coming across that is still in the queue. I have got a Q map. I've got 2 Q maps. I've got the Great Awakening one. This is when people get very impatient of, oh, how can't they let out the stuff out? No, how big it is. There's 7 of these maps, by the way. I don't know where my other one is. My big main map. Hi, my Skies 5D. I mean, this is how big the Q map is and the sections of it. So when people talk about Q and how impatient they are with when's it going to come out, it's like, oh my God, people, they're going for, well, there's Q there. So yeah, it's not everything. You got Antarctica and all this stuff going on. That I will read out in a minute of what that is, but yes, I'll do that in a minute. I just want to talk about a little about the show that people were in. Chris Thrall, which is a lovely guy, and the other guy was as well. He's into a lot of things I'm into. I heard him talk about Charlie Freak, is it? I'm into Charlie Freak. Oh, he's talking about Q now. Yeah, because a lot of people are, because they're realising when you actually go and research, it joins the dots. You don't have to be into Q to join the dots, so it's still part of the same side. But people just want to divide over it. Yeah, it doesn't really matter about Q.pub. It's qmap.pub to go and check out the Q stuff. Don't use Google. I use Google. It just doesn't bother me. Google has been taken over a little bit by the white hats because there's certain things you put in, but still got the same stuff on there. But yeah, the 5 retrogrades things, forking up vibes. Yeah, madness. Yeah, yeah, so the chat was really good. The only thing was it was like who's Q, but it wasn't really about who's Q because it was just somebody who's not into it, and I don't think actually researched it, which is fine. They don't believe in it. I'm not going to go much about that channel because it is a good channel and the guy's good, and I have spoke to Chris. I spoke to him yesterday for a good you know what I'm like. It might have been about 2 hours or something, discussing stuff, but discussing stuff beyond Q, because this is a spiritual war we're in. They went for our minds, body and spirit. Spirit is the last one. This is the one we're in. We're in World War III anyway. It's a spiritual war, and it's the age of information, and that's why people are getting so confused with what's going on in the media. Now, one thing Chris said, which is what I wanted to talk about, so if Chris does watch this or someone else, I will explain why. In the Trump rallies, Chris said something about, because everyone thinks if something's in the media, then it definitely can't be true. It must be a psyop. It must be them. Well, no, because when Trump did the Trump rallies, and Chris mentioned, people holding the Q, hi Maria, the Q signs up at the rally. Well, it got in the media. That's the whole reason why the patriots, the people like me, people over there were holding, the people who know about Q were holding the signs up at the rallies to get it on camera, because if you go back to it, like Trump's always said, fake media, the cameras never used to pan round Trump's arena of wherever he was doing his rally. They never did it at Hillary's because she didn't have that many people there and them lot, but they never, you could hear the screams for the Trump rally. You only have to see how big he is in India. They never panned round with the cameras. So how the hell would you think, how are we going to get this out? That because Trump is part of Q. Well, the people were holding, they were wearing shirts so they'd get seen on the media. Someone held a baby up, and because it was right in front of where Trump was, and the cameras couldn't get round the fact that there was a little baby, when they went round the back, there was a Q on the baby's sleep suit thing it was in, its onesie thing. That's how you get it in the mainstream media. There was people in Ireland that when a woman from the BBC or wherever in Ireland, whatever she was doing, was filming something, they all walked past with an Irish flag with a big massive Q on it, laughing, walking past. It was live on camera. She couldn't do anything. And this is why I say you've got to think. The reason they did that with the Q signs is because they want the people to see, because mainstream media do not research on it. I get labelled on my channel, and I'll show you right here and now. Can't see what anyone's saying at the minute because I'm waffling and I'm going to go and find something. I'm new, saw you in the chat, the guy in Chris' stream, knew enough. Thank you, he doesn't know nothing. He doesn't know nothing. And I'm not having a go at him because some of the stuff he talks about, Tatarian stuff, I'm into all that, the channels that he was saying, I'm into all that. I know Martin Leaker. I've met Martin Leaker, is it Leaker? I've met him at a convention, but he doesn't know anything about Q. So that's why I think it'd be good if we could get Chris in contact with someone who does know more about Q, so you can have two sides of it. You can't just put it up anti-Trump and anti-Q, I don't think. I think you should do both. He was going to try and get me on, but I go on a bit of a rant and I talk about JFK Jr. and a lot of stuff, and because I mix all that up, I don't think people will be like, what the hell is she talking about? And he sort of did say that, so that's fair enough. But there are great people out there who are well highly queued up on Q and what it means, but I know they haven't researched properly. That isn't a bad thing. That's not getting at them. I think Chris is lovely. I think the other guy's lovely, but they don't know about Q and how Q works and how the codes go with Trump and why they're doing what they're doing and why it's going to start coming out in the media. So, for instance, when I talk about JFK Jr. a few years ago, because yes, if you know, I'm not going to go on about it. Some of my videos got taken down. Yeah, I am very passionate, and it's more than Q, as I've always said. It got me to the spiritual sense, so it can't be a bad thing. That's what they talk about. That's what I talk about. It still got me there. It's how I've always said with Q, it's the rabbit holes you go down. If you stay in the rabbit hole, you're going to have a problem. You've got to come through the anger and through the resentment. And the biggest test you're going to have at the end of all this with, just like that guy was saying in Chris's chat, and even Chris has said, some of these people, the celebrities have been blackmailed. Well, I'm saying that all the time. So at some point, MK Ultra, it's not their fault, some of them. So we're going to have to give forgiveness. We're going to 5D. We're going out of 3D to 4D, which is looking at 3D thinking, I'm not getting a fold, I'm going to centre point. But we're trying to get to 5D, which is difficult because it's a forgiveness and love and compassion and non-duality and non-judgment. I'm still in a little bit of that. I'm not in 5D. But we're all trying to get there. The alliance was set up in the 1960s. Yeah, I know it was, roughly set up 1950s or whatever it was. JFK was part of it. They assassinated him. And it's multi-layered. It's not just because 33's in the house, they're secret societies, but 33 is Christ consciousness. They know about the numbers. It's not because it's the Illuminati, blah, blah. They just know what we should have known, as I see it. And, see, I'm getting all... it's very multi-layered. You could go into... Yeah, what shape is the earth? What truly are we? Is there ETs? There's all that sort of stuff that goes into layers of everything. History is one big bollocks of a lie. Chris talks about the military, and if they bring that out, they are bringing that out. We've got General Flynn. They know. They've brought soldiers back from certain places, and if you actually look into Q, you will see all that. What they were doing on D-Day, what they were talking about, what they know. Trump sat in, just in case they're watching, because they probably won't know this, stood in front of the Queen when he first got in. And the media said, how rude is he? Yeah, stood in front of the Queen. Move, bitch. Move aside. We're getting in charge now. And then he sat in Churchill's chair. Sorry to burst your bubble if you thought Churchill was a great guy. He wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't. You've been told a pack of lies. But people won't research it, you know. You've got all this time now in lockdown you can research. So I'm just trying to find something. So... And I just want to say, because I've been on this nearly 4 years, I've never fell off it once. There's one time when I thought, oof, what if it is the other side? Because everyone thinks it's the other side. Still, it's the other side. They can't wake you up to their games. So the whole world's waking up and everyone's talking about Q, which will make you look into Pizzagate, which will make you look, I don't care, I'm going to say it, make you look into child trafficking, will make you look into... all sorts that I'm going to talk about on here just for any new people, or we're just going over it again because new people are coming into Q. You can't wake the world up to your secrets and your secret societies in the occult. And by the way, that doesn't mean you're bad. There's good occult and bad occult, just means what's in the dark. It's your intentions at the end of the day. You can't wake the world up to your secrets, because then we know your secrets, and you can't do your shit and your satanical crap, by the way, you can't do it, because we all know the symbols that we're looking for, and we all know how you communicated with each other on here, on Instagram, the words that you'd use with children, with Pizzagate and all that. Never mind what celebrities coming out and talking about. We've been talking about it. Doesn't matter if you've been awake 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, woke up yesterday. We're all waking up. Q is a tool, was put out on the chance, this is my perception, people, and I'll jump in chat in a minute. Thank you, Mary. And then came out to the people because they couldn't just go on mainstream media. Research who owns mainstream media. It's not just the Rothschilds, it's the Pace, I can't even remember what the name is. Higher than that. Yes, they are behind a lot of it. Realise the triangle, which I'll talk about in a minute. You've got London, money, banking. You've got DC, military. And then you've got the Vatican, religion. Ooh, if you actually dig in what's going on around the world right now in them places, there's shit going down there. So it's, and even they know what we're talking about is the same thing. Yeah, and Looking Glass, yeah, they definitely use Looking Glass. So unite. Q isn't something that's tearing people apart and telling lies. It's only getting people to wake up, because we have to, because I think it's in line with the planets. There's much more going on of a consciousness that's going on. They need people to wake up. So lots of people have woke up in their own way. Q's like one of the biggest last things to wake the people up. So they had to come out on some sort of platform. Yes, they thought it got interfered with ages ago, but it's soon got changed back. That's when a lot of people fell off it. I never fell off because I had to tune into myself. You know, when you say you tune into yourself, you go in. And when I found out about Q, it made me go within myself. I'd locked myself up for nearly 5 years, for God's sake. As a single mum, not going out, stopped drinking. Not that I really drank that much anyway, and I don't do other stuff, but I stopped doing all that stuff. I wanted to find my true authentic self. I couldn't, lots of things fall away, your false ego, and you're like, yeah, I do have this thing with getting triggered and stuff. We all do, because we want for humanity, so we get, like I'm getting riled up now, but it's riled up in a good energy. And that guy said something about, oh, Q's just to bring hope. No, it's not to bring hope. If you're going to think positive and you know about manifestation, something had to come into this world, manifest physically, and it's never what you think it is. Along comes Trump. Oh, the media can't stand him worldwide. lots of people say they can't stand him, but when they think about it, the real reason they can't stand him is that they're looking at mainstream media, what mainstream media's told them. That he's this, that he's that. Whoa, he might have said a few things years ago. So what? We all have. We're not all perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect. It's what he's doing now. And if you actually bother to go and look at his interviews from years ago and what he was saying to Oprah Winfrey, we know what she is, and people like that about coming into America, maybe running for president, I'm not sure, who he was friends with, like JFK Jr., Princess Diana, people like that. Think of like him as an agent. They had to put someone somewhere to know what was going on. And you have to play the fool. Because I thought he was a fool years ago. I thought, oh yeah, he's an orangutan. What the news was saying, oh, just follow the echo chambers. Not because I really know the guy, but what a lot of people don't know is MSM don't show you what he's actually done. I've got a book on him, The Art of the Deal. I've seen videos. There's loads of things out there if you research what he's done for the black community, even in the past. He dated a black woman. What he's done for people, what he's done for ill children when people wouldn't help. Back in the day, he's a nice person. He doesn't drink because I believe someone in his family was an alcoholic and drank, said never drink. He never went to the after parties. When you actually do some digging, you actually realise he's not what they're saying is. And if he ever did do a few little things, but I tell you what he didn't do, he didn't cross the line with the children. We've all done stupid things. That's what we do in life. We make mistakes and we learn from them. So excuse me if he's said something in the past and he's learnt by it. Oh, but he's bullshit. He's had to be. He's a businessman. You have to have boundaries. A lot of stuff with that wall build. The wall is a lot to just do with boundaries. It's not just to do with, oh, he's building a wall. And people go, who's building a wall? Well, yeah, I wouldn't want MS-13 coming in my back garden, thank you very much. That was a bit of a rant. Oh, D'Angelo, I didn't know about Q before your video still. Thanks. Yeah, well, I would ask people in chat because I've not... Q is Trump's intel team. Yeah, is because I'm not looking at chat because I was just ranting away with myself. There's a lot of you who said you didn't know about Q until you came here, or you start, and I kept saying research. Don't believe me, because we think we know stuff. We don't know nothing, but we know there's definitely something going on. And you can't have a side that's waking the world up. That's a part of the elites, because that's the last thing they want in the world. Yeah, the wall is more of a metaphor. Yes, it is, Mark, and that's what I believe. It was more of a lot of things are metaphors when he says stuff, like Chris would say on the channel, he said this, that, and the other. Yes, but if you research Q, you'd understand why Trump was saying certain things. When he was going on about vaccines and everyone went mad because he was talking about disinfectant, he wasn't talking about disinfectant. Was it disinfectant? He was talking about disinfectant is in the vaccines. It's all coded. And only really, if you understand Trump and you research Q, will you know what he's truly saying. Trump is the only president not to take his salary. Yeah, Trump doesn't take a salary. The only president who didn't take a salary. Don't believe me? Go and research it. So people really, 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 really need to research it. My dad's in the house, Waxman. Hey, he's not been in for ages. Obama killed more children with drones than any other Nobel Peace Prize winner. Yes, he did. And he was trying to deplete the military in America. So, you know what I mean? People really, 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 really need to research. This is why I'll stand strong with it every day, all day. But I know there's more beyond Q. It's not just like when all this stuff finally comes out. There is stuff out there, but the big stuff that people will be like, oh my God, it's true. It's where you go from there. This is all about going back to heart centre and realising we are not what they say we are. We are not racist. We are not this. We are not that. That's all taught to us through mainstream media and the TV. So like I said, the reason why... the reason why Q t-shirts and signs were held up at the rallies was to get it onto mainstream media. So whether you believe in it or not, it doesn't matter because it's getting out and it's getting bigger and bigger. Joe Maspose has put a new video up and about 500,000 people have watched it already. That side will say, well, how's that got out? Learn things are getting out. And you only have to go and watch that. Yes. So Joe Maspose has put a new video out. It's brilliant. That's the reason. They wouldn't pan round for ages. That's the reason people were holding signs up. Then they got told they were all crazy far left. Let's go to my channel. So really, if it's a psyop and Wikipedia and we know what they are, do this on people's channels. Let's find the picture. So, I get a few of these and I wear it as a badge of honour. It's just proving a point here with, let's see. If I can find it. Let me see. Might be on my dad's WhatsApp. Not sure. Where is it? That one. No. Right, just let me talk among yourselves while I just look for something. Well, like I say, a lot of people regurgitate, oh, Q's a psyop, because that's what everyone else calls it. They don't go and research because they can't basically be asked. So, let me just check. Yeah, I've got a picture somewhere of, no, I'm going to have to find it again, of my channel. Let me just check again. Yeah, yeah. His name was Seth Rich, never forget, his name was Seth Rich. Oh, yeah. Right, let me just see if it's on here. Well, for once, I got done in Facebook jail for false information found on your post about Bill Gates. Really? Yeah, they got me done for that. And then they also... Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, there was a QAnon label slapped under one of my Q videos or something. And it says something like, it's Wikipedia, far-right conspiracy theorists. And also on the news, they have talked about Q in America and said it was a terrorist group. So when people say, oh, if the media are talking about it, it must be... No, they're not talking about it in a good light at all. At all. So people, like I said, people need to research. Yeah, the time today runs so fast. I never feel it before I'm born on. Yeah, it does go so fast. Yeah, the Nostradamus prophecies. The thing is, there's some Nostradamus I'm not really into, and I don't think everything's set in stone. I'm more in the hokey prophecies. But there is a time that what I keep saying to people. So why can't there be a time? Wouldn't be that great if Seth Rich shows up? Well, wouldn't it be? Yeah, I do believe something's going to happen. It's like people have got to remember. You go on about the New World Order like nothing. 45 in 45th president, last president. Like, we're always going to be stuck in this cycle, and there's never going to be a time when the people rise, because in the past we did, but we got took down again. This has never happened before in my lifetime. I've seen this going on with the lockdown and everything. It's just bonkers, you know. So let me have a look at something. I might just read a bit out of the book, because not that I've ever read it. I just got it for, you know. The Plan to Save the World by Joe M. Have you ever wondered why we go to war, or why you never seem to be able to get out of debt? Now, I'm not even going to read it. I'm going to play it. Let's play it, because there might be some people on here who's not seen it. It's only 10 minutes long. I'll try not to gap through it. He has put a new one out, by the way. And people will go, oh, yeah, we know about that. Look who's in it. Oh, yeah, how have they put it out? Well, Joe M. And we know where they've squashed his numbers. Remastered. 4.2 million. And people say, like that guy was saying, everyone with a big channel, you know, they're not all good. No, it doesn't mean that at all.
What if I told you there was a reason for it all? What if I told you it was...
By the way, for us who know, you might know who this voice is as well.
Purpose. What if I told you that those who were corrupting the world, poisoning our food, and igniting conflict were themselves?
Gavin, Mr. President hasn't said he knows Q. Why would he? They don't give all the game away. Realise they don't give everything away and they give false information out so the elites don't know exactly what's going on. He has circled the Q, and if you follow Q, you'll know Q plus is Trump. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he kind of walks away from the question because he doesn't want to be seen linked to it, but those of us who know, it will do in the end. It's blatantly obvious. If you follow Q and you know how it works, when Q drops and Trump tweets, you will see a link and you will join the dots. That's all I'm saying.
About to be permanently eradicated from the earth? You might think that an idealistic fantasy. Well, let me tell you a story.
Yeah, he was good mates with JFK Jr.
We acknowledge there are criminals, of course.
Oof, let me get the pink book out. I'll shout it out till I'm blue in the face, me. I will. Because all you hear is people saying this, that and the other and they're not researching. Right, there it is. I'll be reading that one out. Yeah, so... Gotta go back to the beginning. Oh, here it is. See this? See what's under Joe M's thing? Wikipedia, QAnon. This is what I get under some of mine. It says QAnon is a far-right conspiracy theory. Far-right, it's always far-right, and it's just right, wrong or right. Theory, detailing a supposed secret plot by a lying deep state against the US president. Oh, yeah.
Rob your house. They steal your phone. They can murder you too if they think they can get away with it. We have all experienced criminals in one way or another. Criminals, as we know, are those who choose personal gain over the rights of others and have no regard for the law. But here is where you need to expand your thinking. Criminals can also succeed in business and politics.
What's
and
using
can
this?
be elected as our leaders. If a criminal became the president, imagine what they could achieve. They could use the full weight of their executive power to commit much larger crimes and ensure they and their friends were enriched to the fullest extent possible.
Yeah, a lot of us have seen this, but I'm just playing it for maybe people who haven't. That's McCain. We know they got rid of him. Every dog has its day, and he died on National Dog Day. Said that a few weeks before it happened. I mean, it's a coincidence, isn't it? No, they're being eradicated, these evil people.
Criminal president could create alliances with other criminal presidents and then collaborate on more global criminal activities.
I'll probably get a label slapped under this.
Anything goes. Drug running, human trafficking, whatever makes the big bucks. The 20th century was turbulent with war, economic disaster, famines, and displacement.
Wait till Trump gets in 2020, which he will, and then watch all the big shit drop, because he'll be able to do a lot more stuff. And stuff that Obama put in is really good, actually, because he'll be able to do certain stuff. They're going for the minions. The minions.
We have always accepted these things as just human nature, and simply the way the world works. Something inevitable, and due to the weaknesses of human nature that drive us to these actions. This is where we were all tragically wrong. You are not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. So how can we just assume that it is human nature that is driving all this pain and misery? What if it wasn't human nature at all? And as a result...
Everyone always says, oh, it's just human, it's human. It's not human nature. We were not brought into this earth, whether you believe we came from bloody monkeys, which, you know, or we came from E.T., or whatever. We were not put here, why we're here. It's not human nature of pain and causing pain to others. It's what we've been taught. Like this whole thing with Black Lives Matter. We're not born racist. Nobody sees colour. We're human beings like a rainbow. Still part of the one. We are taught to hate. By mainstream media, certain platforms and celebrities and so on and so on. Stuff we're taught. Even by parents that are taught by their parents. It's all so layered. Yeah, and some producers have actually killed themselves as well. Some people have jumped off a building, and this, that, and the other. It's very interesting when you look into it. We're all looking at the same thing.
Of something more deliberate. We were taught that capitalism was the cause of a massive rich-poor divide and the reason for poverty, which in turn is the reason for war, crime, and
This
starvation.
is what's going on now.
Others were taught that communism, the system of equal wealth across all people, was really to blame for the mess. But you see, folks, it is none of these things. It is not our nature to fight and be racist. It is not our nature to rob from others. What you must learn is that it was the criminals all along. Yes, they got power. More power than a...
That's the whole thing we're going back to, Gavin, Giant, is it's love thy neighbour. Whether you believe in Jesus or God or not, I believe in a higher source, and I could say, yeah, even if that's a metaphor, whatever it was, it is love thy neighbour. It all goes back to love. Don't do to others that you wouldn't do to yourself. When you look into someone else's eyes, you are that person, because we all come from source and we all are one. Fractioned off to experience. God wanted to experience, at source, universe, whatever you call it, wanted to experience every experience going. So we all are each other, brothers and sisters. Doesn't matter what colour skin you've got. I just see that a different hue of a rainbow. So
criminals should ever have. They rose to the top of media companies that control our news and entertainment. They ascended to the top of the banking system, also to the Oval Office, to Brussels, to the Vatican, to the Crown.
yeah, and people going about reptiles now. You can say there is, or you can look at it if you don't want to look at it like that, because I think there's weird things going on. A reptilian to me, like a lizard, would be somebody who is cold-blooded. Think of it this way: if you go, oh, it sounds cold-blooded, who has no compassion, no love for nobody, probably not even themselves. They don't care if people die. They're not bothered. Yeah, exactly, boom shalaka. They're cold-blooded. They do not care. They're not warm-blooded. You know, they don't hold that compassion for nothing. They're dead. They're just cold-blooded.
They crept in quietly. They became leaders of agricultural companies who have control over our food supply. Also big pharmaceutical companies, the ones we trust to help us when we're sick. Nobody stopped them, and they just recruited more criminals to help them. First, they accumulated the world's wealth. They invented a system of money called central banking, which lends money to governments with interest.
Oh yeah, Dr. Is it Orms? I believe in that all that. I believe in anything. I'm open-minded to everything.
Placing countries into returning debt. People's wealth got less. Their wealth got more. Much more.
Be
When
careful,
a criminal
critical
is already
thinker.
as rich as they can get, then protecting their ill-gotten gains becomes the priority. Angry citizens tired of being poor are a major obstacle and can revolt
I'll be
if
the
they
queen.
suffer enough. The criminals needed to prevent this, so they diverted attention to the last remaining competitor,
Yeah, tough
the
job.
people of the world. You and me. We were not happy being ruled by criminals and having to work 3 jobs just to survive. They know we won't accept it, so they use their control of the media to set black against white, woman against man, young against old, Muslim against Christian. They convinced us we were the problem so that we would fight and destroy ourselves. To get it done faster, they attacked all aspects of humanity that make us strong. Like family. Using
Family is the
influence over
biggest.
culture.
Family is the biggest thing they went from. You got people like Miley Ray Cyrus, MK Ultra will come for them families, whatever, but all wholesome, and then they go to this. They don't want kids seeing all this, and then you get parents dressing the kids up in like, young kids, and then you got paedophilia going around. That's what they wanted to bring in. Look at what Ginsburg said in America. Where's she now? I think she's popped her clogs, hasn't she?
Popularized lifestyle choices that led to a surge in broken homes, lost youth, and substance abuse. I could talk all day about how else they deliberately weakened us, and it would turn your stomach. We were just trying to get on with living. So where are all the good guys? Good people just want to get married, have kids, make a living, and enjoy their
The
liberties.
good part of the military.
Well, there were good guys. Many. One became the President of the United States in January 1961. He knew about these criminals.
Yeah. See who's talking. Just for the Just for the vibration and the frequency. Remember the picture? 2018. A lot of people are making Q oaths. I could do a Q oath, but I think I made a Q oath the day I got on it. And when I'm talking about it, so my oath is when I'm just on here anyway. Like, good people. We're not saying every person in every family is good, because people get on the high horse about, did you know this? And it's like, yeah, well, we know.
And one of them gone. He knew their intentions for us all, and he wanted to fight them. Sadly, he had no idea how powerful they had become.
And this is the thing when people moan about, oh, this, that. Yeah, he didn't know they were that powerful. So it's been hard year after year after year after century getting this truth out. The biggest mistake they made was the internet.
Reagan also had good intentions for the American people. He knew this criminal mafia controlled almost everything by the stage, including the powerful rogue intelligence agencies. His economic policies were promising, but the criminals needed a weak America to hold on to their power. Reagan was shown with a bullet that a growing U.S. economy and prosperous citizens were not what the criminals wanted. It was looking pretty grim for good people. Every time someone wanted to stand up and do the right thing, they got stopped. Were we ever to be freed? These criminals are also known as the Deep State, or Cabal, because of how they control things behind the scenes. Every president after Reagan was one of these Deep State criminals, and their empire got even stronger. With each bad president came new depths America and the world would sink. The world collapsed into darkness. Do you need me to tell you how? Destroyed factories, declining job numbers, sicker people, opioids, destruction of Iraq, Syria, and Yemen with pointless war, displacement of people into Europe, ISIS, terrorism, collapsed governments, poverty, and genocide. Total misery. Do you think that was inevitable? Hell no. Well, here is where things start to take a new turn. When the full picture comes to be known, it will forever be regarded as...
I'm from the same Irish clan as the Kennedys. I've got an Irish name as well.
the greatest story ever told. Well, here is the top line.
Justice, yeah.
Some good people still held positions of power. They valued humanity and the rule of law. While the
General
criminals
Flynn.
discussed their game plan at the annual Bilderberg meetings, the good guys were making plans of their own.
Yeah, this is Q, the Plan to Save the World by Joe Maspose on
As the internet
YouTube.
flooded into every home,
Listen.
and appliances became smarter, and when people started carrying tracking devices, an opportunity to put an end to criminal control over the world was emerging.
Good night,
We became
Jermaine.
connected, trackable, and surveilled. But so did they. They became dependent, just like we did, on email, SMS, instant communication. It made crime much easier, but it also put them on a grid that, if accessed by the right people, would expose their crimes to the public and end their iron grip on us once and for all. In this new age of information, it was thought that the military should also have its own intelligence agency to focus on cybercrime and espionage. They called this the NSA, the National Security Agency. Here we had every phone call, email, and text from every device stored and archived. Whether it be someone making a doctor's appointment, or the deep state setting up a massive heroin purchase from the Taliban. In the right hands, it will be enough information to expose the entire sinister criminal plot to rob us blind and wipe us out.
Worldwide, not just about
Now
America.
I need to explain the plan. The good guys were devising a plan to reclaim the world from the cabal and return it to the people. It would involve alliances with multiple countries, since the criminals had global rat lines, trade, and other infrastructure in place that would need their cooperation.
Putin.
It came down to two choices for America. Launch a military coup to seize the government from whichever cabal puppet was in the White House at the
Seen
time.
it all.
Or win legitimately, take control of the NSA, expose the criminals for what they are, and arrest them all. Obviously, the first option would be very troubling for
Harvey
the public.
Weinstein, that was.
With people still preoccupied with cabal-engineered social issues, they would likely revolt.
Like watching Project Looking Glass there, isn't it?
No, it would have to be the latter. So they needed a candidate who could win, and who could win big. Many states like California had been so heavily inundated by criminals that even the voting machines were electronically set up to swing votes any which way. It would need to be a very decisive victory. Good patriots in the U.S. military and their global partners asked Trump to run for president so they could take back control of America legitimately without alarming the
This is where I
public.
get tingles.
Trump was a good choice, obviously, because he overcame the voter fraud and won. But he was a patriot.
And when people say is this, that, and the other, they needed a strong man who can put boundaries down, who can say it like he is. You're fired, you're fired, fake news. They don't need some wet ass wimp like Antifa shites that would be in there backing down. No. He's a businessman. He knows when to be tough, when to be tough. Just because he says certain words.
And he was loved and admired by the public. He was not interested in joining the cabal
Hi, Danny.
because they hated America and he did not agree with them on that point. As soon as he showed interest in taking power, they activated their media assets to viciously turn on him.
Jimmy, where's Jimmy's show? Where's Ellen DeGeneres, as I like to call it, an Oprah? They're not doing the shows anymore, and he's had his place taken down. You know, because of the COVID, it's like, yeah, okay, really?
That's when we saw the sudden hatred emerge. Even when he won, the cabal still had no idea what he was a part of, and a sophisticated plan
That's what I
was
call
about
it,
to
Ellen
unfold against
DeGeneres.
them. Shocked at their loss, they mobilized their full arsenal of
Dolly
intelligence,
Dictionary.
media, money, and technology to try and take back power. Their people at the top of the DOJ and FBI then put together a plan to frame Trump and have him impeached. This is where we come back to the NSA again. All messages were stored and could be used to expose this plot and prevent Trump's overthrow. An entire book will be written about the first
Could call Oprah Winfrey Oprah Wimpy. She looks like she's had too many burgers.
2 years of Trump's presidency. False flag terror attacks, down planes, missile alerts, assassination attempts. Here's the point. The world is currently experiencing a dramatic covert war of biblical proportions. Literally the fight for Earth.
Remember when this was
between
done?
the forces of good and evil. I can't put it in simpler terms, but I can say it appears the good guys are winning. The cabal had complete control over North Korea. They hijacked the Kim dynasty.
There's another one. They went on about, North Korea, Trump's going to start a war. Kim Jong, they'd already had the thing done ages ago. They were playing a game. I'm going to send a rocket over there. They knew what they were doing. Is there a war with North Korea? No. Is there a war with Iran? No. Well, that's what the media were reporting, because that's why Trump does what he does and Q and says what he says when they think he's saying something else. So then they go and do the false flags and everything because the shit's scared because they don't know when he's going to say something. So then they go and say something, getting caught in their own lies.
Took them hostage and worked to build up a nuclear arsenal to threaten
Night,
the world.
Mark.
Kim Jong-un suddenly embracing peace
Yeah.
was simply because the deep state were being
It is a God
driven out.
thing as well, definitely.
ISIS was also destroyed in the year following Trump's win. We are all starting to see the pattern now that enough time has passed. That our biggest global
Well, look at Trump with his Scottish connections, you know. I'm just saying.
concerns are starting to recede, and peace is returning. It is
General
all evidence that
Flynn!
the
I've got
good guys
something
are
on
winning.
General Flynn here.
But we're still in the middle.
He's
While
going to
the
drop
lot is
some bombs.
improving, it still puzzles
Truth
many that
bombs.
most of these known criminals are still free, especially the higher-ups like Hillary Clinton, the Bushes, and Obama.
Well,
That
he's
is
dead now
coming in the
anyway,
next
so.
chapter of the story. That's why we have
Daddy
Q.
Bush.
The good guys with control over the NSA began the Q intelligence dissemination program to invoke an online grassroots movement that came to be called the Great Awakening.
Q, question
It
everything.
started on underground internet channels and then moved to the mainstream. Q
Rose
has
and
been a fun
Barrow.
distraction for those who follow world events and desire truth.
It's a meme
But it
war.
is about to begin a much more important and
Information
necessary
war.
phase. Keeping the public informed when the deep state war breaks out onto the surface.
Yeah, they're on house
This
arrest. I think they're on
unusually
house arrest,
profile
definitely.
arrests. Yes, folks.
All under the
criminals
act
I'm
of
referring to are
COVID-19.
famous
Yeah, okay.
politicians, actors, singers, CEOs,
It's just for the
and
sleeping
celebrities.
people.
People
It's just for
who
the
have earned our
sleeping.
trust, respect, and admiration. They have done very bad
Antifa.
things that are all fully known and documented, and they will be severely punished.
Gitmo.
Those of us who have followed Q since the beginning
If you don't know, Gitmo's been extended. Why? I wonder why.
will be here to help you make sense of the coming events. We are a among the first to realize that our petty partisan divisions are just
Yeah, Q, the highest Q clearance, military clearance, and also energy clearance. Think Tesla. Free energy, where also the energy.
trivial distractions, and we were all enslaved by a hidden enemy. We realized that the problem was never capitalism or socialism, Democrat or Republican,
Hi, Dave.
black or white, Muslim or Christian. We know it was just very powerful criminals who had too much power. Fellow slaves, it's time to buckle your seatbelt, recognize your true enemy, and embrace a new future that we all owe to the brave patriots who risk their lives to
Yeah, I
achieve
think
this
some have been
victory against
executed,
the
yeah.
greatest force of evil the world has ever known. May God bless America.
And the world. That was a year ago, but there was one done before that and then it was remastered. Now people say, oh, it's all about America. No, it isn't. If America falls, we all fall. It is America first and then the world. We've got Nexaragara, whatever it's called. I can never say that word. Yeah. So, hi Lois, 3 down. Yeah, see, people go, well, we haven't got proof in it. Well, yeah, in that sense, but I believe they're going for the minions. When Trump gets in when is it the election? He will. This is why all this shit's going on, because they're trying to stop the elections. It's plainly obvious. That's when he'll go for the big guns. That's when he'll be able to drop it. That's when I believe we're going to have a transmission of truth on the TV where you're not going to see anything but the truth. Who's gone to prison, who they are, nah. Yeah, Nazara Gazara. I can never say it right. One is for America and then one's for the globe, the world, because that is coming in. People are going to get the money back. All that starts going on. Yeah, wait till General Flynn, because they tried to get him to shut up, basically. General Flynn, remember him saying, we have an army. We have an army of digital soldiers, which is us lot everywhere, every meme wars and everything. That's what we call them. What I call them, because remember he said this ages ago. Because and the mainstream media didn't know what he was talking about, because that's why they say certain things, because they can't give all the information out even to us, and there has been disinformation is needed, because you can't give it all the way to that side, know what you're planning. So there has been not cock-ups, but stuff where that's what you do. So yeah, because this was that's what I call them, because this was an insurgency, folks. This was run like an insurgency, if I'm saying that right. This was irregular wherefore at its finest in politics, and that story will continue to be told. But we have what we call citizen, that's us lot, journalists, because the journalists that we have in our media did a disservice to themselves, actually, more than they did to the country. They did a disservice to themselves because they displayed an arrogance that is unprecedented. And so the American people decided to take over the idea of information. They took over the idea of information and they did it through social media, because everyone moans about it's coming out on social media. Yeah, well, there's certain ways we have to get creative, and they've put it out on social media so people could see what was going on. People need to get their head round it. General Flynn knows where the bodies are buried. Yeah, General Flynn knows where the bodies are buried. Wait till that comes out. Yeah, Simon, I think that's the thing, but people don't look. When you actually do look, you do see, but it's going to come out. For us that know what's coming in over the next 6 months, whatever, or when Trump gets in, it is going to be seen. All this drip feeding, people scratching their heads, because they are doing, whether you're into it or not. As I keep saying, it don't matter if you're not into it. Everyone's scratching their heads. Everyone's looking for truth. It's drip feeding the sleeping people to get used to seeing certain things about, like, false flags and, oh, was that thing with George Floyd, what's going on there? So when it all does come out, it's not going to be like, I mean, it's still going to be a big, but it's not going to be a big, to some, yes, there's chaos going on and all that. The reason why Q came out was to stop mass chaos. Yes, there's chaos. Yes, there's people who have died, got in the way of stuff and all that, but it was like to stop mass chaos. And then there's the people that know that can start calming people down. Like I said, you can go through all the rabbit holes you want. I was angry when I first found out. I was so angry. I felt like a zombie, crying for 2 weeks of all the nefarious stuff I found out about. But you do get through it. And like the guy on Chris's channel was talking about, Tartaria, this, that, and the other. I'm into all that. People who shouted out, yeah, I know them people. So we're all talking about the same sort of thing, yet you think Q's a psyop, yet you haven't researched it, you don't actually know anything about it, because that's all that came over. Sorry, on that channel, like I said, they are good guys, but you need someone who knows about it properly, who can say more than I can say. Flynn going back to the White House on the Q team. Yeah, he is. That's why I said, you know, great one for the Alliance, because he knows he's with the Q team. All the information came out straight away. It will blow too many minds. This is what I said, Doctor. I said, if it all came out, I said to Chris yesterday, because I was talking to him, if you put all frogs in a hot pan of boiling water, they'd all jump out. That's what people do. They can't fathom what's going on, because this is multi-layered. It's multi-dimensional. It's a spiritual thing as well. We've been lied to about who we are, where we are, what we live for, whatever. History is a complete and utter lie. The people who were in charge at the time write history, delete history, cover it up, twist it, whatever you want to say. I'm not saying it's like everything's a lie, but it is all twisted. Truth and lies and everything. It would just, people's mental state today, a lot of people drink, a lot of people take drugs, a lot of people are on big pharma, their head would explode. There are going to be some people that is going to happen to, because Q did say ages ago, I'll read it out, this thing in a minute, is people are going to end up in hospital. There's so many people out there that they'll dig their feet in, they're not open-minded, they don't want to come out of their bubble. Well, that guy was talking about a Kundalini awakening. Well, you don't have to be so-called spiritual. We're all born spiritual. We're spiritual. We come from spirit. They try to separate. We're not separated. I believe I went through that when I found out about Q, because I just cried. I was like a zombie. I didn't know who I was. I didn't want to do things that other people wanted to do, because I was looking at them like, do you know what that's a part of? Do you know what you're feeding into? Consumerism, materialistic, trying to be part of the rat race, only thinking about money all the time. Yes, we need bits of money to live, but that is not happiness. That is not the true way of living. All that had to fall off me. Yes, I'm still going through my journey, because everyone does it the way they do it. Like I said, you don't have to come through Q to have your awakening, but it is part of, to help people. It's a tool. You're explaining Q very well. Thank you, because sometimes I just feel I don't come across well. Like I had a chat with Chris, and I think he thought it went a bit scatty, which I do, because I'm a visual learner. I like talking, but some people who are very intellectual probably won't get me and think I'm off my head, because I do talk about other things. I talk about orbs and all sorts of different things, but I will always say it's a spiritual thing. We live in a multi-dimensional flipping universe, as far as I can see, and it's crazy, but it's a beautiful place. People are beautiful. See what I'm saying? It's all lies about, oh, it's human nature. It's not human nature that we hate and we fight. We don't want to go to war. Nobody wants to go to war. They do it all for money and oil and raping countries of everything. We all know that. And then they take people in the army, they take our good men and women who are strong-minded, mess them up, and then look what happens when they come out. They get fuck all. Got soldiers living on the streets and stuff. Disgusting. But that's what they did. They're breaking down families. They do all that. So that's my rant on that. But I will say, let's go to the Q map for the people who haven't seen it. So when people moan about, well, why is it taking so long? Yeah. So let's go to the bottom of the Q map, and it goes right up to the Vatican. As most people know, Q opens the door. It's up to you to walk through the door. Exactly, Dad. Q opens the door. It's up to you to research yourself. If you don't want to, don't. But don't sit there saying it's a psyop when you haven't even freaking researched it. Don't come to my book club. Don't come to my book club to discuss it if you haven't read the book. I don't need to read the book, by the way. I just got this for... the Great Awakening's not called the Great Awakening. Like the guy on Chris' show said, it's not woke. We know it's not woke. There's a thing going around called woke. It ain't woke. It's awaken. We're awake. The woke thing that's going on, that's a bit of a psyop, because there's a thing there with the woke. It's not woke. It's a woke. The Great Awakening. It's not called the Great Awakening for nothing. It's bigger than people think it is. It's not... Trump isn't a politician. It's bigger than Q. Q's bigger than, like, if you look into it properly. So we'll go to the bottom. Yeah, Trump told his veterans to take medical care and he would pay. Yeah, I had heard about Q and I put pin in it when I was led back to another side. Your half leads you along. Synchronicities, yeah. And I tuned in a few years ago. I thought, oof, what if Q is a part of the elite trying to be all like giving you hope? But I didn't get that vibration, and it can't be because the last thing they want you to do is wake up. Why the frig? Why the hell would they go through all of this with Trump if he's so called off the other side? They would have just let Hillary win. What's the point? People are kicking off. Stupid. So we've got to follow the white rabbit at the bottom. Now at the bottom of this, it says triangle. Soros, Rothschild, Saudi, most of us know that. The breadcrumbs, Palladian guidance, freedom, Delta Force, QAnon on 4chan, Saudi purge, Trump CIA visit, and mystery machine. Remember, nothing is random, everything has meaning nothing's a coincidence. As everyone goes, it's a coincidence. Like, really? Yeah, the Anunnaki. Yeah, been into all that. And then you've got the whole thing of Q, follow the white rabbit, and then it says the exclusive order of human rights abuse. We've all been abused. So people going about slavery, this, that, and the other. It was this race, it was that. No, we've all been enslaved. Human rights abuse against us all. The calm before the storm, and then you got the pyramid sacrifice. Now I know Chris did say on one of his channels the other day with somebody, and Kaylee will. I don't talk about all that, but I know about that. Oh yeah, well all these events, sacrifices. Well, we know that. Q knows that. We know that. It's you got from the bottom, the calm before the storm, as Trump said. Then you've got a Las Vegas massacre. By the way, Manchester Arena's on here, people. Just saying, trigger some people there. Pyramid sacrifice. There's a pyramid sacrifice. Fake news. We are transferring power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to the people. Then you got Donald Trump's organization. This is, all the things under Trump. And then you've got MAGA. And then you've got Trump versus Hillary. And then you've got sex trafficking. And this is just going up the middle. It's massive. And yeah, it's all on here. I'll read that bit in a minute. I'll just go up the middle. Then we've got sex trafficking, blackmail, paedophilia, Pizzagate connected to, well, they're showing off WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, because Julian Assange knows about that. We know where he is. Obama birth certificate, we know about that. Iraq invasion, WTC7. We've got 9/11, which most people woke up on. The Tower sacrifice. That's the Tower sacrifice. George W. Bush, who's connected to the Skull and Bones Society. Princess Diana was the Queen sacrifice, whether we think she's whatever, or they think it was. Hillary and Bill Clinton, the New World Order. Above that is PINDAR, the Council of 13, the Committee of 300. Think the Round Table tanks, their Round Table tanks. Finance resources, fourth dimensional negative entities. Remember, a lot of this is about your energy, and they reside in those things. And do they say Trump's a fourth or fifth dimensional chess player? Can't see anyone in chat at the minute. And then we've got the Illuminati card game, because don't forget, they put stuff out years ago and everyone goes, oh, it was an Illuminati card game. Yeah, because they want you to think that to get you on that timeline of fear, because that's how they work. And then you go in fear and you get on that timeline. Watergate, the Pentagon, the Church Committee, Richard Nixon, MK Ultra, JFK assassination, we all know, King sacrifice that was, Vietnam, Dwight D. Eisenhower military industrial complex 1961, space secret program, Project Paperclip, Nazi US citizenship, the Bilderberg group, we know who he is, Trump didn't go there, CIA 1947, which is Langley, Virginia, which is to do with Geneva, which is to do with the Nazi German, the Pentagon, 1941, Office of Strategic Service, which that goes off to, the Pentagon goes up to the Jesuit War Room. And Notre Dame is up there as well. You've got Treaty of versus oh, I can't even say that. World War One, the Black Hand Society, something on there. You know, the FBI 1908, Aleister Crowley, Freemasonry, Baphomet, Twin Pillars, J.P. Morgan, the Rothschild Zionism, Rothschilds, Declaration of Independence, 4th of July, 1776, Pope Clementine, the whatever number that is, suppression of the Society of Jesus, 1773, Black nobility above that, Jesuit Society of Jesus, and the Vatican Catholicism, I can't say it, which goes down to the unification of Italy, 1815 to 1871, Kingdom of Italy, which goes to the Vatican, which goes to Italy, or whatever all that's about on there. So that goes up to the Vatican. On the other side of the quantum ascension, so I'm not really looking in chat, I'm just reading this out. You've got quantum ascension, the apocalypse, the revelations, Mayan calendar, the age of Aquarius, solar shift is all the same thing to me. Above that on the outside of it, because it's in like a step thing, you've got Antichrist, the pole shift, fractal time, Mandela effect, Akashic records, which a lot of us know about, techno-Luciferian, 5G kill grid. Remember, I got this in 2017 or something. PayPal, Elon Musk, SpaceX, Tesla, not Nikola Tesla, his Tesla, solar eclipse, CERN, portal to hell, Shiva, because he did that whole dance thing there. If you ever saw it when it was open, that was sick. It was about Satan. Cattle mutilation, the Draco reptilians, Palladians, these are all ringed off. Galactic Federation of Light, Ascendant Masters, Norwegian Spiral, Phoenix Lights, Crop Circles, Ancient Aliens, Anunnaki, the Greys, Abductions, Cattle Mutilation, Those Who From Heaven to Earth Came. David Icke's on here. You see David Icke's on here under Alex Jones. What we say about David Icke? We know Alex Jones is a traitor. Dark Secrets, Endgame, Saturn Symbolism, Project Bluebeam, Satanic Panic, Steve Jobs, Apple 666, vaccines. Oh yeah, vaccines, Big Pharma, fluoridation, which we always talk about, the pineal gland, climate change, geoengineering, GMOs, chemtrails, because that's all their shit. You know, you think there's climate change, really. We've got Bill Gates, Microsoft, Ra Material, the Law of One, the birth of the internet, the new age, television introduced in the 1950s, as I've said before, as alpha state hypnosis, because that's what it's for. Jason Society, 1960. And then we keep going up. DARPA, breakaway civilization, moon landing, solar warden, time travel, 0 point energy, Foo Fighters, Agartha, Inner Earth, electrogravity propulsion or something, is it? Occultism scrubbed from World War II history, Vril Society, Fuel, Order of the Black Sun, cloning, Maria Orkic, which I said it was connected to Nikola Tesla. She was connected to Hitler. She's supposed to have communication with ETs. You've got Nikola Tesla, who was connected to Donald J. Trump, and the FBI raided Tesla and he got the stuff from there. You've got Majestics 12, that's ringed off President Harry S. Truman in 1974, DARPA, DUMS, Deep Underground Military Base, Roswell UFO crash, unacknowledged special, moon landings, breakaway civilization, I've said the Area 51, blah, 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 blah. The Coming Race, Edward Butler Layton, the Holy Grail, Stanley Kubrick, is it 2001 Space Odyssey, Eyes Wide Shut, Walt Disney, The Club of 33, as we know. Then we've got Ra, going up to the spiritual, because this goes into spiritual technology and spiritual, we can have that together. Ra, Pyramids of Giza, Obelisk, Thoth, Maya, Isis, Osiris, Gold Mines of Enki, Adam's Calendar, Enki and Eril, Stonehenge, that goes into Lemuria, Atlantis, Mu, that goes into Hyperborea, the Archons, and then it goes right round, moves along to so much stuff. Yeah, so there's all that going on. And then another part of that into the spiritual, there's the bit of Q. Ooh, what's this? Just reading a few out before I come into chat while people are listening. You've got Q. QAnon, high-ranked military intelligence, Trump, where we go one week wall, Anons, Patriots, release free energy. This is what Q's all about. Arrest paedophiles. I can't see what that says. End human trafficking. Q clock. Follow the rabbit. Trust the plan. Tribunals. End the Fed. North Korea peace. That happened anyway. CIA ousted. Palladian guidance again. The Q map. White hats. Drain the swamp. Anonymous meme wars. That's what's going on. The storm. All that stuff we know about. Then from out that you've got the Vatican, you've got Tibetan rainbow body ascension, you've got orbs meditation, light worker starseed, what wanderers indigos, what else is on there? Antarctica with Nazi breakaway group, Atlantis, Lemurian, Mu, because there is supposed to be pyramids at Antarctica. Would not surprise me because there's loads of pyramids all over the world. Some are covered up with snow and stuff. Buried, crash landed, spaceships and stuff going on. Crop circles, ancient aliens, stuff we talked about before. Elohim, Anunnaki again, sound healing, which we know there's that sort of stuff. Book of Enoch, organic food, Nikola Tesla, wireless energy. 369, if you want to find out the secrets of the universe, think more in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. That's one of the biggest things people aren't getting. It's your energy that they cipher off, your frequency and your vibration of keeping it up. Secret space programs, Battle of Los Angeles, there's all that sort of stuff. Secret space, we've got the Black Project, 20 and back. Yeah, there's loads on there. Law of 1, 11, synchronicity, which a lot of people have gone through that. We've got the bit that I like is the orbs, remote viewing, lucid dreaming, astral travellers, the law of attraction, star Merkaba. You see them in orbs sometimes. High Tapper, the Oversoul crystals, 432 hertz was a good hertz, which they changed in music because it affects us. Secret space program, deep lunar mining operations reveal ancient civilizations and advanced technology. NASA cover-ups, photo manipulation, lunar and Martian, what does that say? Martian anomalies or something like that. Venus, Centials, I can't say that. Teo, is it the Ching? Dead tiny, this writing. Hyperspace, DMT, I Ching, 5D, 7D, the multi-dimensional travel, meditation, the rainbow body, sacred flower of life, the great solar flash, and it goes on to that thing I was talking about before. We're all trying to go to abilities, forgiveness, compassion, and then universal knowledge, omnipresence, omniscience, and omnipotence. Because that's what source is, God, whatever. It's everything in higher sleep and worry. It's in everything and everywhere at the same time. Enlightenment, return to source, mystery of the universal creation. It is said that the creation of the universe will always remain a secret. That's fine by me. We're not supposed to know everything, but we are supposed to be ascending in a higher consciousness of love, and we're coming out of duality. 3D is very materialistic when you're into certain things, and you're very materialistic and you're into the material dense stuff. Going into 4D, how I look at it now, is looking at that and coming away from that and trying to be your true authentic self. You're not what your thoughts are. You're not what you've been told or people say you are. You don't need half of the stuff you think you need. Trying to be something else because it's been projected on you through MSM, whatever. That's the way you should be when it isn't. And then going up to 5D is realizing that even this stuff is still duality, because it's making people fight and argue, and we're trying to come away from that even to go back into center point, which I said the other week. I've been having this weird feeling of nothingness. Not that I'm sad or anything, I'm not. I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with what's going on. I think it's magical, amazing, batshit crazy world we live in, because it is when you look at it. But it's the way you deal with it, all the ups and downs in your life and this, that and the other. But, I forgot what I was saying then. I said the other week, I just, yeah, in connection to all, because we are connected to everything in each other. That's why we are the universe. We are part of God. I said last week that I felt very numb, not in myself sad or anything. I'm quite happy at the minute with what's going on in my life and certain other stuff, but it was just a numbness of centre point, like, got to try and remain in the centre of what's going on. Like, they're all going on about that, and we're all going on. It's like, just try and not get too, like certain things are going on with protests, people are jumping in there, they're all screaming and shouting about when they're actually not looking at it, and just sort of getting grounded and staying connected, especially when I say get out there in nature, and you see a lot out in there, you'll know what's going on. I have been, I'm calm. It's like a numbness of calmness of like, if everyone's screaming, I'm just like, it's like my face is like this, I'm happy, but I'm just like, I'm seeing parallel worlds going on, because I see people calm and people freaking out, people saying they haven't got this, that, and the thing. I'm like, I'm not seeing that. Dolly Daydream, WhatsApp. Oh, sorry, Dad. So, yeah, something has brought us all here. Definitely. The right people come on the right channels. It's not just because people say, oh, it's like when I find channels of, oh, it's the algorithms. You're meant to find who you're meant to find. It's like little soul fam going on. Right. Oh, yeah, my dad sent me something. Are you ready? The news are doing it again, trying to send a second wave, aren't they? The news. Flu virus with pandemic potential found in China. Yet again. Ooh, what is it now? Good job I don't eat meat, isn't it? A new strain of flu has the potential to become the pandemic has been identified in China by scientists. It emerged recently and is carried by pigs. 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 Piggies. What a crock of shit. So there you go. Getting the crap out yet again. Ready for a second wave. I don't eat meat. Well, I'm telling a lie, I've had a bit of chicken, but I don't normally. Do not wear a face mask. No, I don't wear them, because you're cutting your oxygen off at the end of the day. And it is out there documented that it is actually against human rights to be made to wear a mask. We don't catch a virus. You have it within you. You don't catch it. Yeah, said 30 mins of sun will kill it off. Yeah, they can't make their minds up. Exactly. So that's why people are scratching their heads going, 1 minute they're saying, I've seen it all over Facebook to people who are asleep, they're all going, well, 1 minute they're saying this, then they're saying that. Then they've just brought out, oh, you've got to get on a bus with a mask, or you've got to wear a mask at work. It's a bit late for that now, isn't it? But then they have to put a thing out. But just let them keep putting the shit out, because like Q said, they are just letting them dig themselves in their own hole of bullcrap. So, yeah, in the Bible it says not to eat swine. Oh, there you go. Was anyone here told the schools might not open till... Yes, I got told, because my son's not back. Oh, it could be September, or it could be January. I was like, what? Been driving me up the wall. So, we'll just see. I'd just say hang tight. Whatever's meant to happen the way it's meant to happen is meant to happen. But we will see, because people are going to get fed up, and they are beginning to open their eyes. Even if they're not onto certain stuff, they are beginning to look, because I'm seeing it all over, and it's speeding up like anything. Yeah, so I guess we'll see. I'm just taking every day as I'm just like, well, whatever. So to everyone in chat, how did most of you come to Q then? Like I said, it's Massive. Massive. Like I said, people are so impatient. When's it coming out? Well, we've not seen tribunals yet, have you? You will do. Can you know how big it is? Like, it's not just England. It's not just me. It's a whole world. It's massive. You say it's been going on for time. Yeah, well, just hold your horses, people. We've got to do it within the law. That's why it's taking time. They've got to get people in the right places. We all know half of the bloody court systems are bad and the judges. You've got to get these people out before you can have a bleeding court case, people. I mean, people go on to me about logically thinking and I'm a bit daft. It's like, well, think about it. Well, we all know what went on with Kavanaugh. We all know Ginsburg is dead. We all know what she said as well. She thought paedophilia was good. She thought she was going to drop the age down the set. Do you know what I mean? People are like, people. Maybe I don't get it out correct because I'm not a big Q channel that digs and digs, but I do know what's going on. People say, we don't all know what's going on. You can see what's going on if you actually research. I'm not saying we all know everything, but you can blatantly see there's a movement and it's for the light. And like I said before, why can't we have a time where we the people win? They knew this would happen. It's in a lot of the prophecies, rainbow prophecy, Hopi prophecies. There would be a time when we woke up and they will return. Just saying. And it depends what you believe in at the end of the day. I believe in everything and nothing. Through a woman called Dolly. Yeah. They say that Q found us. They do say Q found us. Found the right people. The people who would believe. The people who would wholeheartedly feed into that energy and be like, well, like I said, I tuned into it. That energy. At the beginning I thought, oh my God, what if it isn't what it's meant to be? And I did not get that feeling of that. The best way to have someone fooling the deep state is somebody like Trump that they think's a bumbling idiot when he's not. How can he be? He's a businessman. Fools. He's made money, yes. So what? Everyone goes on about money. Well, he's made money. Well, why can't he? He doesn't take money now for the White House. Why can't he then? If he had a business and he's got a good business mind, why not? That's just people who haven't got money going on about someone who's got money. Money's a frequency anyway. You know, people go on about that. The people who would take money anyway, like, it's just ridiculous. Same as both, maybe. One question I would ask would prove whether Q is real. Just go and research. I ask if anyone knew anything else in the UK talking about Q and was told about you, Dolly. Thank you, Lois, because I don't know who's talking. Well, I do know who's talking about Q. You've got, obviously, Roxanne talks about it more now. Not in contact at the minute because they're all busy. I don't know what's going on, but there are other channels, like I think it's Charlie Ward. There's other channels, but we've been talking about it for ages. But I think there is more. But obviously I don't do big massive debunks like bloody X22 Report, which is a great channel. They do a financial one as well. That's one of the good channels you can go to. There's a lot, but people have got to remember there's a lot of Q channels out there that aren't good and that are psyops making it look like this, that, and the other, and they don't know everything. And you've got like people who only go and watch a certain channel, and that's why they think it's rubbish. Like, they might go and watch Q the Pantable and go, oh, it's just a video documentary thing that's put on, like, Out of the Shadows, but they're not actually looking at the actual Q board and researching what's put in there, you know, because you can tap on things and look at this, and then you actually go and research on things that are in documents out there that you can actually read on people, and they don't go and look at it. So then they do the whole echo chamber if it is a psyop, because that's the only word people use. It's a psyop. All right, okay. The only psyop, the only cult that gets you into researching and questioning yourself, questioning, you know, everything. Because shouldn't you be doing that yourself? Shouldn't be just relying on journalism. If you know what journalism is in the MSM, it's not what it used to be. Q, highest civilian clearance. Yeah. High up military clearance and energy as well. Think about Nikola Tesla. Yeah, I'm not into David Icke myself. Sitting on the fence. So yeah, like I said, it's all interesting. Like I said, Chris's show was good. But like I said, it would be good if you got someone on who knows about Q in depthly could bring out things that I, you know, probably not really good at saying, but because it was a bit, well, put it this way, the title said who's Q. They didn't talk about who Q was because the guy on it didn't know. So, and even Chris admitted that he doesn't know enough about it. So really, someone else needs to go on. Yeah, Q a cult without a leader. Exactly, they call it a cult. And it's like, what, the only cult that gets you to research and think for yourself? Well, that's a good cult because normally they don't do that, do they? So I'm going to read out, beware the false king, a leader without beware the false king. Yeah, I'm not that king thing at the minute. I don't know. I'm sitting on the fence with it. I haven't got a clue. I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I think it is because I don't know. It might just be one of them things. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying, guess we'll see. Because it's all going to come to light at the end of the day. All of it, even if we've got things mixed up, it's all gonna come out. So I'm going to read the Pink book out. Me and Roxanne like to read this out. I've had this for a few years now. I wrote it all down and I love reading it out every now and again because it bloody makes sense now. So, in 1909 we lost everything. First to the Bilderbergs. In 1909 we lost everything. My father caught on first to the Bilderbergs, then he caught on the NASA. He demanded to know who the Greys were and why they were here. They killed him. I strategically staged my own death, allied with the one person in this world whom I knew was honourable enough to trust and begin to build the plan. Penance is coming, regardless of what you think. You are not yet awake. You do not know how deep this goes, because none of us really do. If you knew, you would never sleep. Many of you would never go on. That's what I'm saying about when people are taken out of the bubble and they can't believe things. You need each other. This is why we need to unite. Instead of saying Q's a psyop. Well, all the people that say it's a psyop, but they're talking about they're in a truth community, are talking about the same things that Q's bringing out. So, hello. It's just another tool to help people. You need every one of you. Learn to play nice with each other or be left behind. If one stumbles, say hi to Sleeping Warriors in the house. If one stumbles, pick them up. If one asks a question, give them the answer. This is how we grow. There's no more room in the plan for ignorance and self-importance. If you turn one away, you've hurt the plan. If you've hurt the plan, you've been left behind. We are watching, we see everything. Or we see all. There are no secrets. You would never believe the files kept on every one of you for that matter. You would never believe where they are kept. Prepare for the next phase. Prepare each other. You are one, and where we go one, we go all are. And it is that thing about, like I've said before, people keep saying, well, I knew 50 years ago, well, I knew 30 years ago, well, I knew 20 years ago, 10 years ago. And things have changed massively. So if things have changed, something could have happened where they cocked up. Oh, yes, I think they did, especially with the internet. So I'm going to go now because, oh no, I'm not. I'm going to read the Q poem again. I'm going to read the Q poem. Well, like I said, that wasn't pulling that channel down. I thought it was good. I'm just saying, if there's people that are new and wanted to hear about my perception on Q, it's like I said, people can't say, oh, it's this, that and the other if they definitely haven't researched properly. I'm not saying, you know, we do know everything, but I do know a lot of us have been researching. Q came out before 2017 as well, not like Underground, but it's not something I picked up yesterday. It's not something I've just jumped on board with because I'm hearing the Q. I've been on it from the beginning. So, and then these other people haven't, they've just got on it because they've heard about it, or they've heard people in chats now talking about it who weren't into it, and then have realised they are into it. Then they think, oh, they've been suckered in by them. No. Media, MSM don't like you. They've called it a terrorist group. Right, yeah. Because that makes sense. Dave, have you been watching 3D to 5D? 5D? Yeah, she was saying that. It wouldn't surprise me. Well, that's why they make out it's so bad and all that, but they like to everyone to have alcohol, don't they? I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's a thing to be smoking all day long, if you get what I'm saying. Because Native American Indians used to use it and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's get in contact with Creator and everything. So, yeah. So, anyway, I mean, this was me years ago. Oh, cute. I was researching like a nutcase that most people do. This book's from ages ago. You know, I wrote all my stuff down. I did my research. It wasn't just about sitting there just watching certain videos. Right, I'm going to read this, then I'm going to go. So, but like I said, don't forget, it's more than this. It's a spiritual war we're in. We are connected to Source. That's what they wanted us. They didn't want us to know. We are God's children, if you want to put it like that. And I'm not religious. It's not about that. It's all about going back to heart centre and all that good stuff. Yeah, I did, Dave. Yeah, 3D to 5D consciousness was talking about that. I watched her before. Yeah, we must have been watching it. It was that. It was off 3D. So yeah, I know who you've been watching. Yeah, so, but you got to be careful because I do believe they do put bits of crap in something if you're not getting the proper stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? So, we all came together by the letter Q, picked up the breadcrumbs, researched and knew what to do because it was breadcrumbs given to the people. The movement of truth from dark to light, we are all Q and the people will fight for our freedom, our families and our rights to live in a world rid of evil. It's all for our kids. So we ride on the Q train with POTUS and R. So let's unite together and shout hurrah. The plan of the elite, sky is falling down. Think about Bond there. They never thought she'd lose. They are such clowns. So the rise of the people, like the rise of the sun, is light to the world to show us the way. Truth is here and it's here to stay. This time will be told for years to come and we're all part of it. It's been so much fun. We've laughed, we've cried, we've wobbled at times, but we've stayed strong and we stayed on the ride. The time is now where we go one, we go all. Patriots of the world, they win. We win, they fall. Thank you, Q, POTUS and R. You set us free to be who we truly are. We the people. So, yeah. And like I said, that guy was talking about Martin Leaker. Well, me and Sleeping know him and a lot of you in chat know him and Tartarian and all that. It's just getting into it. Ooh, well. Yes. So, I'm just going to pull a card while they're in front of my face. And then I'm going. But yeah, please check Chrissy channel out. He's a good guy. Like I said, it's not about being against it because it's not. It's just that, like I said, the guy didn't know much about Q, so you can't really say who's Q if you don't really know about it. That's all I'm saying. Nothing bad in that. And because I know he said something about people who get very carried away with it. It could have been talking about me. I do get carried away with it and I go off on different subjects because it is part of the Great Awakening anyway. But that doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't offend me, you know. Because they're saying that we don't know, but actually there is proof out there if you actually look. And it all does actually bring you down to yourself, and it does actually bring you down to being a better person. So if Q's made me go within myself and you know, trying to certain foods that I'm trying to get on and you're trying to be a better person and you're working towards that, that's what we're supposed to be doing anyway. So if a group called Q made me go through that to realise that, to go back to my higher self, which is what people are doing and they're even talking about, it's like, can't be deep state, can it? Because they don't want you connecting back to your higher self or God or source or the universe or whatever you want to call it. They don't want that. They've always tried to separate us. So, nah, it doesn't work, does it? Shifting the vibration, exactly. Cleansing is important. Yes, it is. It is all about, I've said before, getting rid of the past things, of what people told you are, what your family told you are, getting rid of the old cycles. Your past does not define who you are right now. It's all about now. Like I said, doesn't matter what Trump said ages ago, whether it was true or not. There's a lot of crap in that, by the way. They put the shit out, by the way. And even if he has said, it's about the now. So will people please stop going on about the past? We know the past has been lied about, but we can't really do anything about it. It's coming out. But don't be... That's the biggest thing someone will say is, oh yeah, well he said this then, or about a woman or something. It's like, yeah, but what's he doing now? Not asked about that. Stop going on about the past, because when you keep living in the past, that's how we repeat cycles, because everyone's moaning about that. Can we sort out, can we look at what's going on now? And can we forgive people? Do not sit there and say you're perfect. We've all said things, good and bad. We've all done good and bad things, even if it's bigger and some is smaller. We've all said things we've wanted to take back. The thing is, if you're looking at it and you're thinking, oh, I shouldn't have said that, next time I'll think about it. You know, that was a bit of a bad thing to say. You learn by it. These people don't. You learn by your mistakes. That's the whole point. So when people judge like that, you're only judging yourself, because you're not perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect. We all make mistakes. But it's if you learn by them or not. Yeah. Yeah, whichever way you want to look at it. You know? That's what I say. They don't look at it because they don't care. They don't have feelings. They're cold-blooded. They don't learn by the mistakes. They don't even acknowledge it. You look in their eyes. They're very dark people. Their eyes are very dark, as in, I don't mean colour. They just look dead behind the eyes. Yeah, they're vampiric. They steal energy off us. You have an energy force around you as well, and they steal that. When you go into fear from the news, they steal that energy and deplete you. That's how you get ill. That's how you get disease, because you're in dis-ease. That's why I keep saying, every day keep checking in on yourself. Stop looking at so much of the news. You're allowed to be aware, card. You're allowed to be aware. You're supposed to be aware of what's going on. It's you don't jump into it. Hi, Yvonne. Yes, future is in the now. Exactly. You just step away to know what's going on. Oh, yeah, I know what's going on. It's not to be all fueled up in it. That's the point, you know. It's to know how to get through your ups and downs and the energies that are coming in and what you're giving out and what other people are giving to you in that vibration. You know when someone's got a dodgy vibration, not being funny, when Robbie Williams did that chat the other day with that Anna reporter. I'm sorry, I didn't vibe with her energy at all. Sorry, didn't. Came across very, I don't even know what the word is, just did not vibe with that woman at all. Seeing as she's worked for the BBC, doesn't mean that everyone worked for the BBC is bad. You know, they learn by mistakes, but I just did not vibe with that. Did not at all. Not at all. You know, when someone changes, you're out at a party, you go, oh, I'm not into that person's vibration. Yeah, because we are all energy. Yeah, and everything's being released, like Dave said, coming to the surface. All this shit coming to the surface in the physical sense. Yeah, I thought she was dodgy first month, very dodgy. The face, everything she was saying, it was attitude, it was, and a lot of people have said it, it's not just me. Brian Harvey had to, yeah, we did, Brian Harvey did have something to say about, yeah, we did. You know, I'm not saying it's true or it's not, it's just that the vibration of when I watched that, I just did not get the vibe with that person. Yeah, a lot of people didn't. She's going on about trauma. We thought, oh, was it in your chat? Oh, I didn't. I just thought, yeah, bad vibes. This is how we start tuning into people. It's not always what they say. It's just a vibration. I just thought, ugh. I could be totally wrong, but that's how I felt the other day when I watched it. It's not just me who's saying it. So, you know, not just me who's saying it. But like I said, Q is not just this stuff and that stuff, political stuff. It's nothing to do with that. It's more beyond it, and it is about a higher consciousness way of, this is how we change the world with a higher state of consciousness, of love for everybody, helping people. Yeah, being like Jesus, if that's what you want to say. Don't do to others that you wouldn't do to yourself. So, how many times I've shouted it out. Oh, right, take that. So, we've got the Great Gathering. Well, the Great Gathering, yeah. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits Soul Tribal. Didn't I say we're all like Soul Tribe? It is all coming together. We're all joining the dots. Intuitively. Even Robbie said that the other day. We're intuitively. It's this knowing. That's why I say, this thing about Q and all that is like, yeah, but it's not even off what I'm watching. It's just this knowing, niggling feeling, which funny is the next one is trust the niggle. What is niggling feeling trying to tell you? Was, I'm just tuning into that. Like, resonating. And the last one's play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. All these people are getting very serious in the right and stuff like that. It's like, come away and do things you love while all this is going on. Yeah, I felt the same thing. Yeah, and the human resonance, there's all retrograde energies going on. There's so much hitting us on so many different sides and levels, making you feel like you've just got to remember to tune into yourself and ground, and don't get so enthralled in sort of sit in the middle. It's like, what do you call it? Vesica Pisces, is it? You've got that side going on and that side going, the two circles, and like, we're in the middle. It's like, oh, I have the storm, people. Yeah. Yeah, Q is the script writers for the live movie we're in. Yeah, and we all know it's a movie being played out. Trump's playing the best fool there is there. The Greatest Showman. Oh, yes. Yeah, we know about Q's using higher tech. We know about Project Looking Glass because it's all there for people to see. So I'm going to go because I've been on there for ages. I hope you got what we're saying. If there's new people, hello. Don't forget to subscribe because I'm sure the numbers should be going up a bit. Just saying. And I'll see you soon. I love you all. I think you're brilliant. You know, like I said, if you're not into Q, but you're just regurgitating what other people say, please just go and look into it. At least, dolls, you need to see Prime Disclosure last two videos. If you, yeah, I haven't seen them, funny enough, the last couple, because I was just switching off a bit, but I'm bound to see something in there. You know that I only keep down to a few videos now, and it normally syncs up to what I've been feeling. So if I go and watch it now, I'll be like, oh, that's how sometimes it's really good when you do switch off and then you come across something like, yeah, that's how I was feeling. Night Sleeping Warrior. So it's Night Maggie, Night Sleeping Warrior, Night Lois, Night JP, Night Jess, Night Boom Shalaka, Night Doctor, I'll call you, Dave, Shirley, Tapper, Paul from Newcastle, First Munch, who else is here? White Squawk, I thought you were going to say White Squall, Dave, Mordy, I might say your name twice, I don't know, Yvonne. If I don't say your name, it's because I've got to scroll all the way up. I'd say Tapper. Michelle. Gavin Giant. Even the trolls, do you know what I mean? Whatever. Mary, did I say Mary? Maria. My dad. Waxman. And I'm going to leave it there because I've got to scroll all the way up. And anyone else who was in at the beginning and who may be watching now, not saying anything, and who may be watching after, oh, Simon there as well, and Shirley, and Earth Mystic 111, and anyone else that I may have missed. I'll see you all soon. What day is it? Is it Monday? I don't know what day it is. Yeah. Maybe see you on Wednesday or something like that. So, yeah. So, see you all soon. Just had to put my point on that. I am not, do not get me wrong, I am not having a go at Chris's channel. I think Chris is lovely. Even the guy that was on there, we're all, when you listen to it, whether they don't like it or not, or choose not to go and look at it because it's not their path, we're all on the same truthing thing. All the stuff they talk about is what we're talking about. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's not all bad. It'd just be nice to have someone on the show who could talk about it probably better than I do, just to put that two sides up. Okay, you've got anti, what about pro? Just to see what people think. You know, you can't just have one side on because that's what mainstream media do. But they're nice people, I can sense that. But you know, we're all doing our best. That's all I'm gonna say. So, like I said, I had a good chat with Chris. He's a lovely guy. We had about a 2-hour chat all along. I don't know. Everyone knows what I'm like for yakking. But we're all on the same path. We all want the best for humanity, equality, love, everything. No one should be starving around the world, nothing, free energy, everything. Not for certain countries, for all. And learning that we are all going there and how we're going to help each other to move forward, to getting routines of stuff we should be doing and breaking the cycles of, same bus, different drivers, exactly. And that's the whole point of me trying to say this. Same bus, different driver. It doesn't have to be the same way. I'm not saying, yeah, you have to believe Q, but look at what they're doing and saying. It's going against that side that we know are what we perceive as, it's that duality thing, evil, bad, whatever, but we're trying to break. What we're all doing in lockdown before we go is, I don't know if you all feel like this. I do. We're trying to get healthier. We're trying to break cycles of old programming of the well, what do you call it, the well, what is it? What you do in the morning? You have your breakfast of your old repetitive things that you do every day. We're trying to break the cycles of, like, I'm trying to juice more in the morning with green shakes because that's what I do with my spinach. I'm not saying, I fall off, get back on, but it's hard because we're trying to break these cycles of it. We're trying to get out of that. Right, I've just got a bit stressed with that or a bit triggered with that. Right, next time I'm going to try a bit harder. I'm less triggered than I was a few years ago. I'm sure a lot of you can see that. But we are all human as well, and it's those two coming in. We're transmuting it all. It's all a massive transformation in ourselves. It's not going to happen like that. Like, this stuff's not going to happen like that, like everyone wants it to. Hi, Bonnie. It's hard, but as long as you're on that path and trying. I know people that are a bit awake and they're not awake and they don't want to look at that, but they're still on the path of, they know that the biggest thing that they're doing is they're trying to change themselves. They're trying to change the old routines, that was the word. And they're trying to be better people. And they're trying to look at the past and think, do you know what, I was a bit, well, I don't want to be that person anymore. A leopard can change its spots if you truly want to. There's no excuse to say, that's me, I was in the past, I've got to stay like that. No, you haven't. If you want to be a better person, to work towards to being a more loving person, just start doing it. I'm not saying it's easy peasy. Things get in the way, certain stuff get in the way, but be your true authentic self. Don't do stuff just because your friend's doing it or friends are doing it or you've been told that that's what you should be doing. If you feel innately that you shouldn't be doing something, like your friends want you to go and do something you're not really into it, start saying no sometimes to something. Don't go along with it just because you want to look cool, because that's what we've all done. We've only been in the cool gang. Well, the cool gang are the shit gang. That's all I'm saying. Not all the time, but you know what I mean. Follow your own heart. Be the one that stands out and says no. People can laugh at you. It's like, yeah, well, I don't have to follow the crowd. I just do me. Whatever makes me happy. People might think, oh, Jesus, I wouldn't do that. No, but that's what I do to keep me happy. Everyone has certain things to keep them happy. Everyone knows I like crafting, drawing, stuff like that. I mean, I love it when I go off on that sort of, in me, creative mind and start doing things, because it takes me somewhere else, like meditating. Yeah, stand in your power. Yeah. Yeah, I prefer being the black sheep. Exactly. So, it's like I said, you don't have to be in the whole Q thing, but I'm just trying to put a perspective out there of, like, don't try and come to the book club if you actually haven't read the book. That's all I'm saying. But we all know there's an innate thing of people are trying to get on better diets. They're trying to look at themselves. They're trying to, especially in the whole lockdown, they're communicating with family more because they're realising what's more important is the love you have for people. People are beautiful. They try and make out on the news that there's so many bad people. There isn't. A lot of them have been brainwashed. Yes, there is people out there who. And, oh, it's only one race. No, it's not. It's in all races, are good and bad. But the majority, really, I would say the world is a loving world. We don't want certain things. And a lot of people have been blindfolded into believing certain stuff. So that's all I'm saying. So anyway, where we go one way, go all. And I'll see you at some point this week. I'll let you know, because you know what YouTube's like for just not putting notifications out there. But that's nothing new. And I'll see you very soon. And it's weird this week because Finn's been really good. Normally, since the quarantine thing, he's been a... So, I don't know if that's to do with the retrogrades, because since that's been going, he's been all right. Affects people in different ways. So, yeah. Q, the 17th letter of the alphabet. But Q, think about it. I just question everything and research yourself. But yeah, so I'll see you all soon. Bye.